All right, welcome back to Carl Tomich Tech Reviews. Today, we're doing a beginner's guide to DaVinci Resolve. A few years ago, this program started to compete in the big league against Premiere and Final Cut Pro. And now it is taking over as one of the most used programs to edit and color your software. So if you're just beginning, this is the guide for you. I'm gonna go through the basics from editing your timeline, importing footage, giving it a light color grade, and then showing you how to export it. All right, let's jump into it.
Okay, so today we're going to go and show you how to use DaVinci Resolve as a beginner. And I'm going to go through with you from a new project how to cut, color, edit, and export your videos. So once you open your program, you'll get a tab like this. Over here, you will have your media tab, a cut tab, a timeline edit tab. This is a Fusion Special Effects tab. Here is your color grading tab, your music tab, and your render tab. Now, honestly, the main three you will use is the timeline cutting editing one here, which is just called edit. Then you will use the coloring one. Then you will use the little rocket ship, which says deliver. Now let's start by importing some media. Now you can import it through the media file, but what I do it is just here in the timeline. That works easiest for me. So I've just opened up a folder on my desktop and I've got a bunch of ungraded clips. Now for this, most of the time I just press don't change. Now, for those who don't know, these videos are shot in S-Log. S-Log is a coloring picture profile, which helps you color things better. Now, if you haven't shot your pictures or videos in S-Log, don't worry about it for now. We'll go into that into another episode. Once you've dragged your files in here, you can double click on the file you want. And here you can scrub through the timeline and you can choose what is the best shot I want. Now, once you've found in your preview bar here, you press the I button on the keyboard, I for in, and then the shot you want, and then you press O for out. And now it knows here, when I click on this or click back to this, you can see it's selected the areas that I've put in and out on. And I can just go and drag that straight into my timeline. Now, let's say I want the next shot. Once again, I'll press I will press O, and then I will drag that in. And then if you hit the space bar, we'll go across and play the video. And you can also, just like this, drag and drop the length of your clips. But if you already cut them from here, you will know, once again, in and out, it will come in the exact length you cut it at. But you might want to cut it to some music and then edit it later. Now, here are also several bunch of tools that you will use. A lot of the time, this is the magnet snapping clip, and this is the link selection clip. Now, if you click on this video here, because this isn't linked, now when I've clicked the link button, when I drag it, it drags both the audio and the video. Had I unlinked it, it will just drag the video because maybe you want to put different audio behind and you can just delete the audio here. Now, while I'm doing this tutorial, I have turned down the volume on this so you don't hear it through my screen. Then I'll grab just one more clip as an example, press I for in, O for out, drag that in there. Once again, I've got link turned off, so I just deleted the audio for the moment. Once you click on your clip, up here, sometimes it may or may not, you might see this or you might see this. If you press on the inspector, this is where you can zoom in. You can reposition the clip and rotate the angle. And you have many other features like cropping the left, cropping the right. Now this might come in handy, but I'll go through that in a different episode. You'll also have things like speed change, whether you want to speed up the clip or you can slow it down. Now, if you've shot this in 24 frames a second, you probably don't want to be changing the speed. You also have stabilization, where you can just And this only comes in the studio paid version, just so you know. Now, we'll get into that in a different episode. Let's focus on the most important things. So, putting your timeline together. Also, when we want to finally render the timeline, on this timeline here, you press I, and you can see this gray bar has appeared up the top, and then you go to the End clip and you press O. Now, when I go to save or render this clip out, that's the part that it will be rendering. Just like any other editing program, you don't just go File, Save to export this video. To export it, you do need to go to the Deliver button, the little rocket, but we'll get into that later.
Also, if you're interested and you want to know anything else about DaVinci, leave a comment below and I will make an episode on that particular feature. Let's keep going.
First, now let's do the most important thing, coloring the clip. Now, this is what DaVinci is used for. Now, at first, this can seem a little confusing. What's going on here? You can add all these extra nodes and you might wonder, what are these nodes for? Now, simply, it will start with 1. Now, over here, you can go through each clip that we've had in the timeline. As you can see, there's 4 there, there's 4 here, and you can color them all separately, and then once you've done that, they will all be colored in here. Now, let's start with this first clip. If you click on this LUTs button, we'll have some pre-installed LUTs within the program. I have also added a few of my own, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to, well, this was shot on a Sony camera in S-Log. So if I then choose Sony S-Log, you're gonna already get quite a nice image. Now, you can grade this yourself. So to make changes to this image, maybe I wanna make some more contrast. This is the contrast button here where it says contrast. Below the highlights, that will obviously bring down the highlights in the image. The shadows, you can either make them darker, bring them up. At the end of the day, it's up to you how you want your image to look. Here, this changes the temperature, whether you want a cooler temperature or a more yellow-ish temperature. It depends what look you're going for. Same as the tint, you can give it more of a green tint, give that cinematic matrix look, or a purple tint. And sometimes these can just be used to fix up colors that are maybe filmed wrong. Now that we've done, say, our first clip, we'll do our second. I'll just choose Sony again. And as simple as that, you just can click on it and double click. And that will do the clip. Double click. Now see here, the highlights are a bit blown out here. So I'll bring the highlights down and give it a bit of contrast. And that is just a quick little tutorial on coloring the videos. Now you do have a lot of extra tabs here. Now they will come in handy. Simply, if you've ever used a program like Photoshop before, you have your S-curve. Now what this does is the lower end here will be the shadows. The higher end here will be the highlights. And so you can also, click in here, add as many buttons as possible and play around with the colors. So that's another thing. Now this here, this is your shadows. Once again, your midtones and your highlights. And this over here is your overall exposure for the image. Then you can choose how much reds I want in the highlights, or maybe how much reds I want in the shadows or the midtones. Once again, the same goes for the green, the blue, and so on. And that's so what all these bars are for. Now changing these will also just change them here. Purely 2 different ways to do that. The mid/detail button here, think of this as a sharpening button or an unsharpening button. If you drag this to the right, it will make it sharper. If you drag it to the left, it will make it more blurry. Quite and simple. So once we've kind of colored our images like we want them to, if you want to go back to the bar, maybe you want to add some music. Now I've gone to YouTube Studio where they have a playlist of all royalty-free music. So from here, I know I can just drag in any of my music shots. And then if I want to, I can simply cut the video to the music. And here you can see kind of where the beats or the bars are. Now this is just giving you an example. I hope this has been helpful. This is just a quick explanation into getting the absolute basics started. We will go into these other ones on a different episode. Now, first, to render this little video here, we go to our little rocket button on the right, which says deliver. Here, we can then choose whether we use the timeline resolution or we can use the setting little cog tag here and change it. So say it's filmed in 4K, you can then drop it down to Ultra HD, which will be 4K. Now, when I'm editing on the timeline, I keep it at 1920 by 1080. That actually, if you have a slower processor, helps it load faster. Only when I go to export do I then change it to the 4K. I'll press save there. Or you can also click on the resolution here and change it there. Now here, this is the bit rate that you want to export it at. Now, if you just want to export something low quality to send to your friends through Instagram or something to get a review, maybe leave that around 9,000. But generally, you should be exporting something above 30,000. If you leave it on automatic, that will give you the best setting. Now here, you can also choose what format you want to export it at. I normally choose MP4. And you also have two different main codecs on that, H.264 and H.265. H.265 is a newer, better encoder, but more platforms support H.264, so I'm purely just going to leave it with that for the moment. After clicking the browse button, it will appear where I want to save it to. I will just call this test video. Press save, and it will show you here it's saving it to my desktop. The file name is test video. And you press add to render queue and then render all. And now it tells me that took 4 seconds to do. That is completed and that file will now be on my desktop to play. Anyway, I hope this has been helpful. On the next episode, we will go through more detailed settings on audio, mixing, coloring, and effects. But for the basics, this is how you get started.
Okay, I hope this has been helpful for you. If it has, please, if you have any questions, leave a comment below and I will do my best to answer them. And if you want me to make any other videos on any other particular topics, also leave that in the comment. All right, thanks for watching. See you next time.